Hi, I'm going to be showing you how to style your wig into a Hime style today. And I'm going to start with my blonde wig here, which is about bust length and has soft natural waves. You can do this with a very curly wig, and you can also do it with a straight wig, but you need to set the curls first with hairspray and curlers or heat if you have a heat stylable wig. First thing I'm going to do before I start the style is to give the curls a little bit more definition. I suggest doing this even if you have a curlier wig. It really helps the flyaways as you get through this style. So I'm going to just use hairspray here and do a little corkscrew twirl and spray it lightly. I'm using Aussie Instant Freeze. This is the extra hold version. Any strong hold hairspray would work well. I'm just going to let this dry a little bit and then let it go. As you can see, it gives it a little bit more of a defined curl and really helps, again, hold the frizzies in so you don't have looking messy once you're done. Now for this style, it's very simple and it's actually quite quick to do. It only takes about 15 or 20 minutes, and of course every time you do it, it gets a lot easier and quicker. And it's done with two big sections of the hair. And for mine, I did a little variation. I kept a small bit of the back section down to bring over the side. I think it gives a very cute look, and was going for a little bit more historical of a look, so I wanted to have a little cascade. For this, I like to leave ear tails, or sections framing the face. I think this is really helpful if you have a longer or more rectangular face. It helps give the face some softness. And so I'm going to be leaving these two front pieces down. In the back, I'm going to just separate this into two. I'll spin this around for you. I'm just going to separate this into two pieces. Now, this is the second take of the video, so my wig's a little bit messier. And you just want two full sections, and just with half of the wig, we're going to pull this up into a style. I'm going to pop out of frame here, so excuse me. And from the back of the wig, we're just going to take the first section, which is the right section I'm using, but you could do it either way. And we're just going to use a little bit of a lift, and again, one of those little twists like I used a lot in the last video. I think they're very helpful for covering up the wefts if you have a bit of a thin wig. So I'm just turning in and pulling up. Okay, and then I want to just pull that up and secure this with some bobby pins. Now I'm going to use black bobby pins for this, just so it's a little easier to see where I pin. But of course, on a real wig, you'll want to use one that matches your wig much better. And one more here. And then we'll style the front part when we get around there. Then, for the side here, you want to leave the back tail. You just want to leave a small portion of this down. I'll just comb this out real quick. Okay. And that will just sit over your shoulder lightly. If you don't want to, you can just incorporate it in later. And for the side bit here, and this is about, well, the other half except for this edge bit. And we're going to turn this into a little twirl. And we're going to set this coming up to that same point on the midpoint of the head. You see here, there's the bangs. But we're going to have the curls on this cascading down the side instead of pointing towards the front. Okay. This is where we're going to start styling. This is where a lot of sort of personal desire comes in. If you want to put in different larger accessories, you're going to want to make sure you have a sort of flat spot in different areas to put those. But I'm just going to generally show you how to do this. And each time you do this, it'll probably turn out a little bit different, just depending on how you are doing it that day. My suggestion is take your wide tooth comb, take each small curl section, and just lightly brush it out. Just to, take care of any wispies. And then we're going to curl that around your finger, and a little corkscrew. a little touch of hairspray. And that's going to give you a pretty curl. And on a couple of these curls, you definitely want to set them down with hairpins. And that's just going to give them a little bit more stability and a little bit more of that height that you can get out of them. And that's really all you're going to do across here, is just define the individual curl sections. Gently, you want to make sure you don't brush too hard. Hairspray them lightly, and then let them go. And coming over, and you want to get some height on this. Obviously, depending on your outfit, if you have a very over-the-top outfit, you can definitely get some big height out of this to balance out your outfit. Putting that up and coming over here. Now, because you're using hairspray on this wig, you will need to wash it out because it will obviously make it a little bit stiffer from the hairspray, but it won't affect the natural curl or natural straightness of the wig. It will just temporarily do that. Once you wash it out, it'll go back to its normal self, as long as you don't wash it in too hot of water. Okay. Good. That one. I'm going to pull that forward and pin it. As I said, this is my second take. So the wig you'll see in the pictures is going to be slightly differently done than this, just to see, you know, how it can be done differently. And it does come out looking pretty much the same, but the curls will be in different spots and things like that. And this is a really great wig style if, say, at a convention or something and you need a style for the second day, something that's cute but not hard to do. You could very easily do this with your own hair if it was long enough. Set that one up higher. And you can just take your fingers and fan out some of those curls to give a little bit more volume, especially when you're pinning them up into little circles.